January is all about fresh starts, and it's a great time to swap out the skincare products weighing your skin down in favor of a routine scientifically proven to transform your skin at the cellular level. Something today's sponsor, OneSkin, knows all about. Their products are powered by OS1, which is a proprietary peptide the four founders, who were all skin longevity scientists, developed after testing 900 other peptides. And it's scientifically proven to switch off the aging dysfunctional cells that cause lines, wrinkles, and thinning skin. Hello, I have all of those things. Not only that, OneSkin's products are packed with nourishing ingredients that I cannot pronounce to naturally boost your collagen, reduce inflammation, and protect skin from environmental stressors while being totally free of irritants like sulfates and fragrance. Are you ready to detox your routine, improve your skin health, and look your best? Head over to oneskin.co and use code Pink Shade at checkout for an exclusive 15% off your first purchase. Y'all know I've been using OneSkin, the face topical supplement and the eye topical supplement for a long time. I use both of these things first thing in the morning and last thing at night. I put it on my bare face because if you have other things you just love and you don't want to get rid of, that's fine. You put OneSkin on under it and then whatever you want on top. It's made a huge difference, you guys. It's because of that collagen boosting thing they've got in there. I don't know how it works. I just know it works. OneSkin was founded by and is led by an all-woman team of skin longevity scientists. OneSkin is redefining the aging process with their proprietary OS1 peptide, the first ingredient proven to help skin look, feel, and behave like its younger self. Get 15% off with code PINKSHADE at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code PINKSHADE. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and say we sent you. Invest in the health and longevity of your skin with OneSkin. Your future self will thank you. Hey y'all, Kimberly and I had so much fun talking about the tell-all that this is going to be a two-parter. So this is part one and part two is already in your feed. Thanks. Hey everybody, welcome to Pink Shade. It's Tuesday. It's TLC Tuesday. That means we're going to talk about Before the 90 Days, Season 7, Episode 21, Tell All Part 2. I would like to thank Kimberly and Matt for filling in for me last week when I was in Jamaica, Mom. And kids told me never say that.
I know.
So embarrassing.
I was waiting.
Yeah.
I did think you would come back with braids and beads in your hair.
I did none of that.
We didn't leave
the
Really
resort. No, we didn't leave the resort.
That's fine.
Yeah,
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, just wanted to stay there and relax, and that's what we did.
Good.
It was
And
really
you look
nice.
as tan as ever.
Oh, right. Glowing. No, I'm 50 all over in a giant hat.
Mm-hmm.
I got to, all the sun
Did you
damage.
hear us do a plug for Hello Lash?
Yes, I did hear you do.
Unprompted?
Yeah, and then Matt said the code is Hello Lash. I was like, damn it, almost nailed it. No,
It's Pink Shade.
It's Pink Shade 20.
Oh,
Pink Shade 20. No, that was great. And actually, it's funny because I just then was checking my email for the first time today, and it's the end of the day. And somebody had said, oh, I've tried everything and I can't get Pink Shade 20 to work. And I wrote back and I said, here's the actual link like from the site. But if you go to helloskincare.com and oh, you know what else it is? I'll say if that person's listening, you can't put in a subscription. You have to put in a one-time purchase
I got you.
to get Pink Shade 20. And sometimes if you put in a subscription, which is great, they send it to me every 3 months or whatever, that it won't take that. So, maybe that's the problem. Anyway, her name was Anita. I sent it back to her. So
Hi, Anita.
Hi, Anita. You're on your way to beautiful lashes. And yeah, I had a great time. And I got to say, y'all did rag on me quite a bit. And every time you did it, I would stop it and rewind it 10 seconds and then take my AirPods off and let the whole family listen to how I was being made fun of on my own show. Family thought it was hilarious.
It was mostly Matt imitating you calling for the dogs and talking about all the construction. I did mention that contractor guy that pooped in your bathroom.
And one of you talked about my addiction to Mio, water
Yes,
enhancer.
that was Matt.
Yeah. Yes. I have my Mio in right now.
Mhm.
And okay. So you sent me a gift, which were these caffeinated mints.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't do it right now because it's 5:30. I can't have any caffeine after like 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
So tell me how I'm supposed to use these. First of all, thank you for sending me a gift. And second of all, how am I supposed to use them?
I just really like them. I have them like one in my car and I have one here. Uh, but it's not that much caffeine, I don't think. How
Well,
much is it? Two is 1 cup of coffee. So if you had like one, that's just
yeah.
half a cup.
Okay. I'm scared to do that after 3 o'clock though.
Okay, well, then do it for your morning
I,
recordings.
I will. And I'll see. And it's supposed to give me a little, am I supposed to like be all cracked out or no?
No jitters.
Okay.
And it has B vitamins in it.
Okay. Sure.
No aspartame.
Okay. Good. That's all good.
Zero
It's
calorie, sugar free.
sounds healthy.
It's basically like having a salad.
Yeah. I have to tell you, I just realized that I'm here
You
all
can
by
give it to your
myself.
children.
I could give it
College,
to,
John needs it for college, probably.
he does because he doesn't have any kind of caffeine. And Anna drinks 1 Celsius every day. That's her
Yeah,
caffeine. I drink 1 to 2 cups of coffee every day, sometimes three if I'm getting real crazy. That's it. But John, he has, and doing all this like pledging and stuff, he doesn't use any type of caffeine.
that's crazy.
I
Good for
know.
him.
I know.
I never did caffeine until I got on the Frappuccino
Mhm,
bandwagon like
mhm.
15 years, 20 years ago.
When I was young, and this will surprise nobody that was a child of the 70s, when I was young, my mom would be making her coffee in the morning and she would do a mug for me. I was like, 4. And she would put just like 1/3 coffee and the rest would be like milk and just like a chunk of sugar on top. She would call it baby coffee and hand it right over.
It's not good for you.
So I always liked
That is not good for you.
coffee is also very good for people that have ADHD. It's a counterbalance.
Does is it?
It's true. That is true. That is true.
It
So
reminds
yeah.
me of like the moms, like I feel like Honey Boo Boo probably put like Mountain Dew in a bottle for
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now we didn't do that. We didn't do that. She just did like a little splash of coffee on the bottom, filled it up with milk and sugar, and was like, "Here you go.
yeah. We
Here's your
didn't
baby
know in the
coffee."
70s.
No, they didn't know, and I'd be like, "All right, yeah,"
Yeah. And you're fine.
and I'm fine.
There's no problems. There's only one white spot in your brain. You're fine.
There's only one white spot in my brain. We were just talking about our back doctors and our various back ailments, and I went to my back doctor today just for a checkup to find out what the next thing is they're going to inject into me, and
Mhm.
I said, every time I go in there, and they're like, you need to get a new MRI. I said, well, I don't need it because I had one. I had the pre-nuvo scan and there's the whole body scan. They go, okay, well, why we don't have that in our files? I go, yeah, no, I keep forgetting to send it to you. I guarantee you, I'm between now and when I go back in like 2 weeks, I'm going to write it down. I'm going to write it down, send pre-nuvo, but I'll forget.
Yeah, I
I,
know.
I'm like, should I just go get
I'm
another
just
one?
emailing myself right now. Like
I,
make an appointment with back doctor.
I text myself a lot. I text myself a lot of like
Oh,
best books
texting.
of
That's
2024. And I
mm,
text myself like Amazon list of books.
yeah,
So when I'm looking for a new book, I'll remember.
that's a good idea.
I'm going to write that down too.
Hmm.
Somebody just told me to read The Vacationers, and I don't know if I already read it. So I'm going to look that up. You
I
guys,
love it.
Kimberly's not even old. But when you get old, you forget things.
I'm quite old.
You're pretty young, pretty sprightly. Keisha said yesterday, we were talking and saying me and Keisha and Ingrid together are going to open a detective agency. And Keisha said, well, we'll be like Charlie Angels, but I get to be in the middle because I'm youngest. And that hurt.
Is
That
that the
hurt.
way the Charlie's Angels worked?
I don't think so. Let's think. Who was all, let's see. So in the middle was Farrah Fawcett and also Cheryl Ladd. Is that correct? Because
I don't
Cheryl
know.
Ladd replaced Farrah Fawcett
I never watched the show
because Kate Smith and Jacqueline
because I'm so young.
Smith, Kate somebody and Jacqueline Smith were the brunettes and they were on the outside. And then either the blonde, which was Farrah Fawcett, and then Cheryl Ladd, where she was in the middle, pointing towards the middle. And I wonder if she was the youngest. And I wonder why that's it. They gave her that prime spot. It's like on Housewives. If you get to
Why
hold.
weren't Katie and I considered for the detective agency? We host a podcast about Dateline.
Yeah. There wasn't, there was no, it was a free flowing conversation. And Keisha was saying something. And I said, yeah, I said, you're really good at whatever. And I said, well, I'm really good at finding somebody 12 steps into Google. I can find somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, Ingrid is really good too. Ingrid gets like government document ready. She's our government liaison. We will take everybody for the Lady Detective Agency.
Okay, great.
We'd love to have you because you and Katie each also have very special skills, detective wise. I just listened to your episode, which was called, I just listened to it. It was something part one. Might even still be up on my phone. And in it, you talked about, did it say part one? Because why would it say part one? Because there wasn't a part two, unless I took a nap and it rolled right into it. Let's see what it was.
Manner of Death?
Yes. Was there two parts?
No.
Oh, okay. Manner of Death. In Manner of Death, you guys talked about Sweet James.
Yeah.
Who is an LA lawyer.
Yeah. Which I didn't realize he had like a connection to Bravo because he was like married
to a girl that was a Real Housewife of OC.
I had no idea. People sent me articles about like their breakup.
Noella, yeah, was her name. Yeah. It was, that was wild. Wild.
So was he on the show?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
But when you're in LA, like when I was in LA that last time, you see signs for him everywhere. Sweet James.
Everywhere. He literally, his face, bus stops. It's just anywhere, just huge. Like his face is everywhere. It's very smarmy and like slimy and just gives me the ick. And I don't know why. I feel like he has allegations against him.
Oh, I'm sure. He seemed real slimy. His wife seemed real slimy. And it's like, he's like Better Call Saul. He's like, branded himself everywhere. Sweet James.
Yeah. And then someone sent me an article about how he got the name.
Okay. And how is it?
Some like somebody famous like was in his office and kept calling him like Sweet James because he thought he was such a nice guy, and then it stuck. And I think he really just stuck with it because the famous person gave him the nickname so that he could name drop it all the time and be like, oh, it's because of so and so.
So it's not the song Sweet Jane that I'm just about to look up so I can tell you who sang it. The Velvet Underground. No, the Cowboy Junkies. Did you ever know that song, Sweet Jane by the Cowboy Junkies? It's a really good song. Okay. Once again, we've not said one word about this episode. We're just talking about stupid stuff.
Let's just skip it.
I mean, we can't skip it. I'm sorry. I was so enraged watching this episode, Kimberly.
Honestly, like my stomach had like a knot in it because I was so mad. I was having a visceral reaction.
It had to be so frustrating to sit there with Adnan acting like that and making everything about him and constantly interrupting and being so misogynistic and gross. It had to be.
And like a bully, a bully, and picking on Niles. And not that Niles is a grown man, but like he does have Asperger or, autism spectrum disorder. And like he kept poking, seeing the effect it was having on him and not caring.
Purpose.
Tiger Lily was doing nothing. Like, she's a mother. Like, what if that was your child and someone is just poking them and like
she was just smirking.
And then the most disheartening thing was I watched Pillow Talk because I thought someone could rage with me. And I could go to bed knowing the world agrees with me that Adnan is horrible.
Yeah.
There were so many apologists for him. Veronica said at one point, why are they picking on poor Adnan? Like, they thought he was being funny. Tim was kind of being like, why are you defending him so much? And she's like, I don't know. And then Patrick and John were the same way. They were being so assholey to Vanya. They were like, Yeah, if Vanya was coming at me, like she can't even get a man. Why is she coming at, Tiger Lily, who got married on a first date? You couldn't even get the guy to sleep with you. Like they were being such assholes towards
What?
Vanya and sticking up for Adnan and being like, yeah, I'd be annoyed too if this single lady is acting like she knows everything. And like they were totally on his side. And
No.
it was so gross. John was a little bit less so. Like he was like, God, he's really just like going after people. But Patrick was like bro time. Like it was full on bro. Like if I was Thais and watching my husband be like that, I would be like, we need a divorce.
Mm.
Or you need like toxic masculinity training or something because this is gross.
It was on last night, but I wasn't really paying attention. Do you know what I mean? It was like on while I was brushing my teeth and whatnot because it comes on so late here.
Yeah.
So I wasn't paying attention. It comes on at 11 o'clock here.
Oh, yeah.
So to watch it, I kind of have to make a special effort. So maybe I'll watch it tonight because tonight is Monday night. I don't know if I have any housewives to watch. I think it's below deck night.
The the people that now are like my yay, like
Yeah,
Ashley and her mom.
I
They
love
have had
them.
consistently the best takes all season, and they were so mad at Adnan and so mad for Niles and
Hmm.
for
Hmm.
Vanya, and like love them.
Okay,
So
yeah, I
great.
love them too. I did see them. I saw that they were on. I saw Kenny and Armando were on with
Kenny
some
and
like
Armando were
giant
great too. Kenny and
giant cups.
Armando were totally great and hated Adnan too.
I literally have a note here. Adnan apologist. Dot dot dot. Text Veronica.
Seriously, like
I
I
am.
am
I'm gonna be
mad at
like, what?
her. I feel like
Yeah.
I know her. I don't at all.
Mhm.
Like I'm mad at her. And I wonder if she's going to get crap. Like do
I bet she
people watch
will.
and are get that invested? Like I almost went on Twitter. Like I
Yeah.
which I haven't been on forever. Just to be like what's going on? Why is Patrick acting like this? Why is Veronica acting like this?
I don't know unless they, because they see it way before we do. So I don't know if they saw a different cut,
Right.
but
Because
surely
they found it amusing and like to me nothing about his behavior was amusing.
no.
It
It was
made me
scary. I was scared.
nauseous.
I was
Like
scared.
yeah.
I was texting you and Matt last night, just like screenshots. Like I'm like scared. This guy's legit,
Mhm.
like a bad person.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he like watched past episodes and was like, oh, this is what'll get me another season. This is what'll get me
Right.
screen
Like,
time.
well, like, it didn't work for Jabri coming at everyone. It's certainly
No.
not going to work here, but like,
Pipe down, Sparkles. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, and I was really sad. Like, Joey obviously hates him, but like,
Wouldn't even look at him.
wouldn't even look
Yeah.
at him, but like, didn't really say much to stand up for Niles.
Yeah.
And even Vanya at that point was just shocked and like didn't say anything. It was
I,
just shock. I was just like, someone say something. Stop this.
we'll start talking. And as we go, we will get more enraged. So hopefully
Yeah,
by the end, both of our
I'm
heads will not have
ready.
exploded
I had
because
flames on the side of my face like the whole time.
yeah, it was bad. And so hopefully next week at least we'll get less talky from Adnan.
Yeah.
Just shut up over there.
Yeah.
Y'all, let's talk about therapy. I've had so many good experiences with therapists in my life. Therapy has helped me get through tough experiences in my personal life as well as in my working life. And sometimes you feel like you have nothing to talk to your therapist about, but then something always comes up and you walk away feeling better. Finding a therapist you trust shouldn't be complicated or cost you a fortune, and that's why today's sponsor, Rula, was formed. Rula connects you with high-quality, vetted, licensed medical health professionals that are suited for you. And here's the best part. They take most major insurance plans. That means instead of paying hundreds out of pocket, you could pay as little as $15 per session. The great thing about Rula is they support you every step of the way, from finding a therapist to scheduling your sessions to tracking your progress to dealing with the insurance. They make it happen. Getting started is easy. They ask you a few questions about what you're looking for in a therapist, like what's your insurance, what type of care are you looking for, and your preferences. And from there, Rula will match you with an in-network provider who will fit your criteria. You can book your first session as much as like the next day. So right now I'm in between therapists, so I checked out Rula, and it's a great website. It's easy breezy to use. And what I like is first, the help with the insurance part, and second, Rula makes sure their providers are carefully screened and vetted vetted, and they monitor the quality of their care, and Rula helps you monitor your progress as well. Also, most online therapy programs focus on connecting clients with licensed therapists, but they often fall short when it comes to help with medication management. Rula has a wide range of licensed professionals, including psychiatrists, who will help you get the care you need. Rula is the place to go for your mental health care, even if you're not sure exactly what you need. Thousands have already trusted Rula to support them on their journey toward improved mental health and overall well-being. Head on over to rula.com/pinkshade to get started today. That's Rula, RULA.com/pinkshade. After you sign up, they'll say, "Hey, where'd you hear about us?" Make sure to support our show and say Pink Shade sent you. So you're going to go to Rula.com, RULA.com/pinkshade, and take the first step towards better mental health today. You deserve quality care from someone who cares. January is all about fresh starts, and it's a great time to swap out the skincare products weighing your skin down in favor of a routine scientifically proven to transform your skin at the cellular level, something today's sponsor, OneSkin, knows all about. Their products are powered by OS1, which is a proprietary peptide the four founders, who were all skin longevity scientists, developed after testing 900 other peptides. And it's scientifically proven to switch off the aging dysfunctional cells that cause lines, wrinkles, and thinning skin. Hello, I have all of those things. Not only that, OneSkin's products are packed with nourishing ingredients that I cannot pronounce to naturally boost your collagen, reduce inflammation, and protect skin from environmental stressors while being totally free of irritants like sulfates and fragrance. Are you ready to detox your routine, improve your skin health, and look your best? Head over to oneskin.co and use code Pink Shade at checkout for an exclusive 15% off your first purchase. Y'all know I've been using OneSkin, the face topical supplement and the eye topical supplement, for a long time. I use both of these things first thing in the morning and last thing at night. I put it on my bare face because if you have other things you just love and you don't want to get rid of, that's fine. You put OneSkin on under it and then whatever you want on top. It's made a huge difference, you guys. It's because of that collagen boosting thing they've got in there. I don't know how it works. I just know it works. OneSkin was founded by and is led by an all-woman team of skin longevity scientists. OneSkin is redefining the aging process with their proprietary OS1 peptide, the first ingredient proven to help skin look, feel, and behave like its younger self. Get 15% off with code PINKSHADE at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code PINKSHADE. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and say we sent you. Invest in the health and longevity of your skin with OneSkin. Your future self will thank you. All right, so we open with Niall saying, "I'll break your face" to Adnan, and this is in my first sentence. We open with Niall saying, "I'll break your face" to Adnan, and I hate the way these two are smirking at Niles.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, and Adnan says, "Why? You don't like my opinion?" And Vanya's like, "Rude." Matilda's saying, "Calm down, calm down." And Niall says, "If you could just let Matilda finish what she is saying, that's all I'm asking."
Mm-hmm.
And Sean says, "Okay, so all right, let's go back to Niles and Matilda." And she's like, "So,
But
you know,
why would Sean do that when Niles is already like flaring his nostrils like he's about to lose it? Why would she take the focus away? Give him a break.
well,
Go to
listen,
someone else."
she's only following the cards in her hand."
Yeah.
So she says, "Tell us a little bit about the masking and, how that sometimes gets you in trouble." And he says, "Sometimes I'm too honest and I tell the whole truth, but then sometimes I say something entirely different." And Sean says, "Okay, now how can you confuse telling someone you're coming on the trip to get to know them versus you're coming on the trip to marry them?" And Vanya goes, "I was a victim of that myself."
Mm.
And Brian says, "Well, I think Niles is just afraid to tell somebody no because he doesn't like the reaction he gets when he has to tell somebody no."
Yeah.
And Niles goes, "Listen, in Matilda's defense, it was me that brought up that we would get married in the future. And I know I should have said after I got to know you." And then we see one man very involved in their relationship, and he never holds back from what he wants to say, is Mr. Ark. They really missed a good opportunity to show that in our country, we don't stick it in the butt.
I was waiting for it.
I don't know. I mean, what an opportunity for Lauren to be like, "Well, Faith and I are both bottoms." I mean,
I think that maybe it's in the More to Love. Like, I'm gonna watch the More to Love and see if they deleted that scene, and it was
Because we have
showing that clip to
two
see everyone
more.
laughing when he's
We have
talking about anal.
we have 2 more episodes that are 2 hours each. So,
Two more? It's
yeah,
four?
it's 4
Why do
parts
I
now.
am so surprised every time?
5 parts? What? Yeah. And so here he is. I wrote, now this is literally what I wrote. And I sent this to you and Matt. And then I realized how stupid I was. And I am going to make a reel about this to make fun of myself. But this is what I wrote. Mr. Ark is in a one shoulder blouse, but it seems he has a blood pressure cuff on and an IV. Oh my God, that's his prosthetic arm. Kimberly.
I didn't understand what I hadn't watched it yet. So I had no clue. And I was at my brother's house. So I was like, not trying not to be rude and texting.
Yes.
I was so confused. And I kept staring at the picture, the screenshot
Okay.
you sent.
So it was him and his, one shouldered, like a toga thing.
Yeah.
And
It's not a toga, but yeah.
but whatever is
Whatever
the
they call it.
word, whatever
Yeah.
they call it, it looks like a toga. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I called it a one shoulder blouse, but I know it's like the traditional clothes they wear.
Yeah.
So his shoulder and arm that is exposed is with his prosthetic arm, which is probably pretty comfortable for him. But with the way he was sitting, they said, "How are you doing?" And he was slumped back and he said, "I mean, I'm okay, God willing, today I'm fine." So he looked like he wasn't feeling well. And I was like, "Oh my God, he looks like," and then I was staring at it. I go, "Does he have a blood pressure cuff? And is that like an IV in his arm?" And then I kept looking and I was like, "Oh my God, that is his prosthetic arm." And it was like where it attached
Yes.
was the black part. And then
Yes.
something here was like a hook on it.
That you thought was the IV.
And I was watching it on my actual television in real time as it was on TV. It wasn't like I was watching the screener. I had no excuse for that behavior.
So what I interpreted you were implying was he had an IV in his prosthetic arm. And so I wrote back, this is fraudacity. He doesn't even have a missing arm. He's not even real. He's a hologram. That's how confused I was by your text.
Oh my God. I'm just saying in the picture because he said he didn't feel well and he was grateful to be there.
And you saw blood pressure cut. I
saw he's in the hospital. Oh my God, it was so dumb. So Niles says that regarding Mr. Ark, being his father now, his parents said about Mr. Ark standing in for him at the wedding. He said, "My parents didn't say like, I'm glad he was there for you, or I'm sorry we couldn't be there for you. All they said was, how could you do this to us?" And that's what his parents said. And so
that's ridiculous.
Sean goes, "Okay, so what about the whole thing, Niles, about you being able to have Matilda in the States in 5 months?" And Niles says, "The thing is like, I don't have the money. He had said last week that he had done his part and paid his part, but they still need another 4,000 American dollars. He's just a regular guy with a regular job. And that's why he's paying as he goes." So he's got a plan, but I mean, he's just a regular guy with a regular job. He doesn't have a way to come up with $4,000 since he's already had to give like another $4,000. And he paid Mr. Ark back.
Yeah. I was happy to hear that.
Now, when they said, tell us about your job now. And he says, "I'm working for the mental health department of Alabama. And, it's just a job and it pays the bills." And every time he's talking, they're showing Adnan and Tiger Lily smirking at him talking about his job.
Ridiculous.
And what are their fucking jobs? We have no idea what their jobs are. Her job is to get child support. And what's his job?
No, they're looking at like, ugh, poor person.
And he says he also has to take care of Matilda. So he sends her money every month. And he says, "I'm just a regular guy and I don't have $8,000 laying around. So I'm doing my best." And Matilda said, "Would you rather him use that money that he's putting away every month to come and visit you, which would prolong the visa because he wouldn't have the money to visit, if you use that money for a visit?" And she says, "Yes, I would love for him to just come visit, even if it prolonged the visa because he wouldn't have the money, because he'd probably have to spend at least $2,000 to go and visit her." At least.
We had another couple recently who had that dilemma. Like, is it better to just wait and save the money? Or is it better to do a visit and keep the relationship going?
Yeah. So Laura goes, just wait on that trip to Ghana. And once she gets her visa, you could go back and visit together. And for some reason, just because they're such assholes and because they're smirking, I guess, Sean asked Adnan what his opinion is about that. Because Tiger Lily just flew over there every 12 minutes. Every time
Yeah.
she had a hangnail, she had to fly over there.
Mm-hmm.
So she asked Adnan, and Adnan says, I wish you the best, but you did not respect me in my marriage. Just be nice to me and I'll be nice to you. Your father is here. And so Niall starts to say, listen, when you get to be my age, and he goes, age is just a number. Believe my relationship, which was not at all. Sean did not ask
Not
any,
the question,
not the question.
not the time, not your segment.
So Sean
It's
goes,
Niles's segment.
so Sean just goes, okay. So Matilda, how has it been being apart for 10 months? And Sean goes, no, it's so sorry. How's it been being apart for 10 months? And Adnan says, do you respect my relationship?
Oh my
And Niall
God.
says, we aren't talking about you right now. And this he keeps on. Do you like my relationship? Do you like my family? And Niall says, we're not talking about you right now. And I'll just say this one more time. And Adnan goes, do you like my family? Do you support us? Do you wish the best for us? And Niles is like, he's starting to
Like
like
a
get all mad.
petulant toddler who is like
Totally.
trying to just bully someone else in the playground. And
You know what
like,
he's got? You know what he's got, Kimberly? He's got little brother energy.
yes, little
Like,
brother energy. Uh-huh. And she is just like, she just looks worn to me. Let's just like tired and just like sedated and just like,
slightly sedated. Mhm.
and I think he first of all, everyone was coming at their relationship. He's only coming at Niles because he's too scared to pick on any of the other guys.
Right.
And
Mhm.
he's done picking on Vanya, the woman that is coming after him.
Yeah.
And he thinks Niles is weaker, so he can. For a brief second, I thought he was going to do some sort of trick where he'd be like, "Do you support our relationship?" And if Niles said, "Yeah, I do. I wish you the best," he'd be like, "I'm going to pay for your trip to Ghana." I swear I thought that's what was coming because I was like, he can't be this big of an asshole. He's trying to do some sort of weird, like, get a good response out of Niles and then look like he's giving him this gift. Like he'll
Oh, like
pay for
I'll pay the four thousand
I'll
dollars
pay
for the
the four
visa.
thousand dollars or whatever. But that didn't happen. Well, because Niles never said he supported the relationship. But also I think I'm crazy and Adnan is just that big of an asshole.
He's sadistic. He's
Yeah.
really a bad, bad person.
Mm-hmm.
So, so Niles getting mad, and Matilda goes, Niles, please calm down. And Adnan says, you like us? You wishing bad things to us. And Niles goes, get him out of my sight, get him out of my earshot. And Adnan laughs and goes, are you wishing the bad things for my family? He laughs. And Tiger Lily is smirking like this is funny.
You're
And then
pushing this man to like
snap.
to snap and they're thinking it's funny.
And he says, Adnan says, Adnan always trouble. I want to try to be nice. I swear to God. In the beginning, I say, I will be friendly with everyone. No one will be friend with me. Why? Because I'm honest always. And Vanya goes, no. And Niles has walked off now, right? And Matilda says, Adnan, mind the way you speak to my husband. I don't
Mm-hmm.
like it.
Yeah.
And he says, well, I'm sorry, Matilda, but your husband didn't support my relationship. And they all go, what? And then somebody, I don't know, was Joe or somebody goes, that's not cool. And Matilda goes, Adnan, you need to stop. And he says, do you wish the best on my family and my relationship? And she goes, I don't have an answer. And he says, the reason I ask is because I want to build a friendship with all of you. I love all of you. I'm trying to love you. I don't like anybody, but I'm trying to like you.
What is wrong with him?
And then she laughs like he's hilarious.
I hate you all, but I want to like you, but I really hate you, but I want to be best friends with you. We're all in this together. Let's all be friends, but I hate you all.
I
Like
think
that's
Tiger
how
Lily's
little
like, we're
sense he
never,
made.
yeah, Tiger Lily's like, we're never going to get on one of these shows where they have like a cast of different people. If you act like, but he's like, can't help it. I
Yeah.
am who I am.
Mm-hmm.
So Brian says, if you went around this circle, man, and asked everybody if we love you and support your family, everybody would say yes. And he looked at Brian, he goes, you support? And Brian goes, yes. He goes, okay, then I'll be quiet and have fun. And then he goes, hello, Mr. Ark, Mr. Dad. And then he goes, you have a great outfit. I went to Mecca for my religion and I wore something similar. Now he's
It's
insulting
not
Mr. Ark's like
it's
traditional
it's
clothes.
really mocking, but in this like guise that it seems like he's being friendly, but it's so overly friendly that it's clearly mocking.
And they're all going, no respect. This guy has no respect for anyone. They're all like amongst themselves going, he's so disrespectful.
Yeah. But then
And
stand up to him. Like
and so
and do it when he's Niles is there and stop, like go back in time and stop him from poking at Niles.
Mr. Ark says, okay, sit down, be quiet.
Yeah.
Sit down and be quiet. The kind of discussions we're having, you just sit down and wait for a while. And so they all kind of nod.
Mm-hmm.
And Sean says, Mr. Ark, how do you feel about Niles having words with Adnan? And he says, well, I don't like that he walked out of the meeting. I don't like that at all.
That seems to be a common thing that people get mad at the Americans for walking off. But like in our culture, it's good to walk off to protect your mental health and to avoid throwing punches.
Yeah. And to avoid like losing your shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So backstage, Niles says, I challenge anybody to stay calm with Adnan being that rude and being rude in front of my father. And it's not your father, my father and my wife.
He birthed me.
You guys don't remember that sex talk we had right before the wedding? It's my dad. And so while they wait for Niles to return, Sean asks Mr. Ark about a social media comment. Who cares? That he forced Niles into the marriage. And he goes, no, I did not. And Matilda says, that's right. He didn't force him to marry me. He just explained the customs and then Niles agreed to marry. And Vanya's like, well, I don't know. It didn't seem like Niles.
I agree with that.
I don't know either. It didn't seem like Niles could say no.
Right.
And Joe says, he seems stressed about money, which is understandable. People are stressed about money. And Sonny says, no, the old man helped him out and he made the right decision.
Okay.
Okay, Sonny. Niles is back. Mr. Ark says, son, my child, you have no right to leave. You have to stay calm, even if he's insulting you. Apologize for making that mistake.
How long does this son advice from father last? Forever? I thought it was just at the wedding he was filling in.
It's forever. He's his father forever now.
I didn't know that was part of the deal. I thought it was a one-day thing.
No. And he says, apologize to the congregation, not just me alone. And Matilda says, please apologize.
No.
And he says, okay, I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry, Matt, for walking out.
That's ridiculous.
He says, to Adnan, he says, Adnan says, I respect you, but you hurt my feelings earlier today when you were talking about my story. And Niles pulls a Real Housewives move here. He says, this is not the time or the place to be having this conversation.
Oh my God.
Adnan says, you say I'm too young and too controlling, but you say so much bullshit to me. Why? I didn't wish anything bad to both of you. And Matilda is crying.
Calls him a sugar daddy.
Which literally he can't pay $4,000. He's the worst sugar daddy ever.
Exactly.
And Matilda's crying and they ask her why. And she says, I do not like the way Adnan is speaking to my husband. And Niles goes, okay, to everybody, looks around to everybody. He goes, so if I explode on him, I'm wrong. And they all like, that's right. And he goes, okay, I'll be quiet now. I'll be quiet. Tiger Lily is now stroking Adnan's face like he just won the evil Olympics.
Seriously. She's so proud of you, baby. Baby, you're so funny. You really went after that man with autism spectrum disorder, baby. That was so hot.
So hot. So Mr. Ark tells us that Niles has paid him back everything that was owed. And now they pivot to future plans. She says she's looking forward to coming to the U.S. and having kids. And then Sean says, how many kids do you want? And she goes, I don't know. I have to confirm with Niles. And I think she's just being like respectful, like in her culture, like you confer with the man. Like you don't say, oh, I want 4, And he goes, well, honestly, I would love to have 2, a son and a daughter. And we'll do more squishy. She seems over the squishy, by the way.
She actually does finally seem over the squishy.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was going to be their brand. They were going to trademark it.
I think she's like, this is a serious thing. This guy's being a dick to you. I want to come to the U.S.
Yeah.
You disrespected your father, and I don't want to squishy right now.
Yeah.
Also, the kids are going to be like, stop pinching my cheeks.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's break time. Y'all, let's talk about therapy. I've had so many good experiences with therapists in my life. Therapy has helped me get through tough experiences in my personal life as well as in my working life. And sometimes you feel like you have nothing to talk to your therapist about, but then something always comes up and you walk away feeling better. You know, finding a therapist you trust shouldn't be complicated or cost you a fortune, and that's why today's sponsor, Rula, was formed. Rula connects you with high-quality, vetted, licensed medical health professionals that are suited for you. And here's the best part. They take most major insurance plans. That means instead of paying hundreds out of pocket, you could pay as little as $15 per session. The great thing about Rula is they support you every step of the way, from finding a therapist to scheduling your sessions to tracking your progress to dealing with the insurance. They make it happen. Getting started is easy. They ask you a few questions about what you're looking for in a therapist, like what's your insurance, type of care are you looking for, and your preferences. And from there, Rula will match you with an in-network provider who will fit your criteria. You can book your first session as much as like the next day. So right now I'm in between therapists, so I checked out Rula, and it's a great website. It's easy breezy to use. And what I like is, first, the help with the insurance part, and second, Rula makes sure their providers are carefully screened and vetted, and they monitor the quality of their care, and Rula helps you monitor your progress as well. Also, most online therapy programs focus on connecting clients with licensed therapists, but they often fall short when it comes to help with medication management. Rula has a wide range of licensed professionals, including psychiatrists, who will help you get the care you need. Rula is the place to go for your mental health care, even if you're not sure exactly what you need. Thousands have already trusted Rula to support them on their journey toward improved mental health and overall well-being. Head on over to rula.com/pinkshade to get started today. That's Rula, RULA.com/pinkshade. After you sign up, they'll say, "Hey, where'd you hear about us?" Make sure to support our show and say Pink Shade sent you. So you're going to go to Rula.com, RULA.com/pinkshade, and take the first step towards better mental health today. You deserve quality care from someone who cares. January is all about fresh starts, and it's a great time to swap out the skincare products weighing your skin down in favor of a routine scientifically proven to transform your skin at the cellular level, something today's sponsor, OneSkin, knows all about. Their products are powered by OS1, which is a proprietary peptide the four founders, who were all skin longevity scientists, developed after testing 900 other peptides. And it's scientifically proven to switch off the aging dysfunctional cells that cause lines, wrinkles, and thinning skin. Hello, I have all of those things. Not only that, OneSkin's products are packed with nourishing ingredients that I cannot pronounce to naturally boost your collagen, reduce inflammation, and protect skin from environmental stressors while being totally free of irritants like sulfates and fragrance. Are you ready to detox your routine, improve your skin health, and look your best? Head over to oneskin.co and use code Pink Shade at checkout for an exclusive 15% off your first purchase. Y'all know I've been using OneSkin, the face topical supplement and the eye topical supplement, for a long time. I use both of these things first thing in the morning and last thing at night. I put it on my bare face because if you have other things you just love and you don't want to get rid of, that's fine. You put OneSkin on under it and then whatever you want on top. It's made a huge difference, you guys. It's because of that collagen boosting thing they've got in there. I don't know how it works. I just know it works. OneSkin was founded by and is led by an all-woman team of skin longevity scientists. OneSkin is redefining the aging process with their proprietary OS1 peptide, the first ingredient proven to help skin look, feel, and behave like its younger self. Get 15% off with code PINKSHADE at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code PINKSHADE. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and say we sent you. Invest in the health and longevity of your skin with OneSkin. Your future self will thank you. Tiger Lily says, I don't feel the need to defend my husband because all he said was that Niles was a sugar daddy, and that is their relationship, so there's nothing wrong with that. What the fuck is wrong with you? That is not their relationship.
Like, just so I'm so disgusted. Like, Adnan, we know, is not a good person. Right. So this is to be expected, although this behavior was beyond what I expected. But like, Tiger Lily, I didn't think was a bad person. I kind of thought she was stupid. And then sometimes I thought she was smarter and pretending to be stupid. But like, I didn't think she was a bad person, but she's fully a mean girl.
Yeah. Yeah. And you've seen the social media stuff that she's been doing.
No,
Oh my God. It's
you didn't send it to me. If you didn't send it, it doesn't exist.
well, people were screenshotting it. And I guess it was like ask me anything on Instagram. And literally, I think people were trolling her, asking her these questions, but she was
Good.
answering as if they were real.
Hmm.
It was like, how can you be like more subservient and feminine for your man? And basically, she said, to be a feminine woman is to let the man lead and do not speak unless spoken to. It is not attractive for a woman to be loud and draw attention. Yeah.
Like Vanya.
Yeah. Like Vanya. Right. A woman doesn't
Well,
need.
the whole like trad wife thing is very
Mm,
in. So
mm,
it's possible they weren't even trolling because there are a lot of people that are trying to go back to those
right.
glorious
Right.
times before
Well, I
women
mean,
could vote and drive.
okay, never, no comment. Okay. So, and she says to Adnan, they're walking together and you hear their mics. And she says to Adnan, he doesn't understand. And his wife just wants money. Like, Niles better get her a new job where he makes more money because his wife's not going to be happy with that salary.
What has because she wanted a big wedding? She,
For
I don't,
$400?
she hasn't asked for anything else. She hasn't
So,
asked for gifts for her family or anything. Not that we've seen.
no. And in the talking head, she says, Niles, you know what? He's like a dog, like a chihuahua, like wants big personality and think they're like a Rottweiler. That's Niles.
That is your husband, ma'am. Your husband is the smallest man that ever lived.
You're
He's like
exactly
a
right.
tiny, tiny, sad, insecure man that
Yeah.
is the human personification of an internet troll. He's acting
Yeah.
like an internet troll on Twitter or Reddit or whatever who's just saying things to get a reaction.
Hmm. Yes. And you
Just,
saw somebody found his old TikTok with him with his floppy hair dancing around, rubbing his abs and stuff.
oh my God.
It's hilarious. So I think when I make a reel, I'm actually going to find that and I'll attach it to I'll
Good.
get a clip of it and put it as like a dancing meme in the corner.
It's so
It'll
sad.
take me 3 days to do that, but maybe I'll be able to figure it out. Um, so Vanya talks with Niles and she said, I think it was good that you walked out. That's a good way
Hmm.
to de-escalate the situation. He goes, yeah. He says, I need to call Matilda and need to make sure she's okay. So he calls her and he's like, I want to tell you I'm sorry. And she goes, Niles, you just need to calm down. You don't want your father to see that. And,
Or your other father.
and he says, I know I need to talk to Mr. Ark, but I know if he had insulted my mother, meaning if Adnan had insulted Mrs. Ark,
I
that,
thought he meant his real.
no,
Yeah,
no,
you're right. He totally
no.
meant Mary or whatever her name
Yeah,
was, Mrs. Ark. Yeah.
Mrs. Ark. He says, I know if he had insulted my mother, then Mr. Ark would have used his fake arm and beat him with it. And I was like, okay. So good. So good. And Matilda says, Adnan is not right, but don't mind him. And then they do some more squishy, squishy. And she's like, don't squish me again. I'm going to have a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
And the talking head Niles goes, I'm surprised how this day is going because I thought Lauren would be the one to make me mad.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. All right. Now we're outside at break time eating, and Brian rolls up literally to Vanya and Lauren. So Vanya and Lauren are talking. Brian comes up. No, it's not Lauren. Oh, yes, it is. Okay, this is not outside. Outside was somebody
That was
else. Okay,
later. Yeah.
that was later. Okay, this is inside. They're like literally backstage at one of those little tall tables. Okay, sorry.
Hmm.
So Vanya says to Lauren, oh, I hear you give your girlfriends a test. Let's do it. Let me see the test. And he just has it, a scroll in his pocket, pulls it out.
Yeah.
Just has it, just in case a girlfriend comes along.
Uh,
And it's stupid questions like why do balloons fly and what kind of butterfly flies backwards
mhm.
and some stupid stuff. And he says, it's philosophical. And one of the questions is, she goes, one of the questions is, have you drowned? And she goes, obviously I haven't drowned because I can answer the survey. And he goes, actually, I've drowned 8 times and survived. And
Much to the dismay of the people drowning him. He keeps surviving.
he's like a cat. But Niles asked the best question, which is, how many times were you dropped on your head as a baby?
Yeah.
And of course, he has a story about that because
Yeah.
he has a story about everything.
Uh-huh.
He literally is a one-upper. He has a story about everything.
Yep.
And I think, was it you and Matt? It had to be because I don't ever listen to reality gays because I don't want to like steal anything they say. Was it you and Matt that said, maybe it was Matt, and I saw it on an Instagram clip that said, the way that Lauren always has, like, look at me, I'm wacky and I've got this crazy story, is a way to have you look over here and not over here.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, to distract from
What he's really doing.
Yeah. And I said to Matt, who told him that he was charming?
Good
And
question.
and he's like, someone did when he was like a kid, maybe. And then I said I wanted to go back and slap that person, like
Yeah,
go back in time and killing baby Hitler.
right,
You want to slap the person who told Lauren, you're funny.
right. But I think he does it. Was it the two of you that talked about that? Or I don't know if
No,
it
as a
was,
distraction, but I
yeah,
think that's probably true.
yeah. He's so insecure and such a bad person and has so
Mm-hmm.
many bad things that he's planning to do that he's like, if I just act all wacky and say I've drowned 8 times or look at me, I was dropped on my head
Mm-hmm.
as a baby, blah, 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 then it'll like distract you from this test I'm giving people that,
Right.
because she answered one of the questions. She goes, okay, so you've already passed that question. So there are right answers.
And no one fell for it, even Sean. Like Sean, that was one of the best things when last week when she said he did that story about walking off a cliff or something,
Yes.
and she's like, okay, we're moving on. Like it's like a troll. Like do not
Yeah.
feed the gremlin after midnight, just
Right.
ignore him.
Because he's like, I've got a story about that. I did watch one of a
Mhm.
clip. You're like, oh. So, all right. Hey, Bojo's back. Who cares? We don't need him. And
Ah,
Joe go,
but Joey, say it.
Joe,
I laughed so hard.
how's your meeting?
That
How's your
was
meeting?
I died. How was your
He,
meeting?
and he goes, oh, thanks for asking. Really productive. Sean says, Vanya, how do you feel that he left and came back? And Bojo goes, Julia Roberts would be so proud. Runaway Bojo.
Oh my god.
Kimberly.
Gary Marshall movie.
I was wondering if this was a Gary Marshall movie and if you worked on it, and don't yell at me because if you were too young, because I
I
don't know
was
what
too
years.
young.
I don't know what years these movies came out. I did like that movie though.
It's very cute. Yeah.
It's a cute movie. All right, let's move on to Joe and Magna Minima, which was so fucking funny last week. I didn't get to talk to you guys about it. When he goes, I don't know. I mean, it's Magna, and Sean goes, you're still not saying it right.
Because he kept trying to use it as an excuse, like they say it this way in Poland.
Yeah,
And she's like, but you're not saying it that way either.
no. And on this episode, he says Magna and Magda.
Maybe
He
it's like
doesn't.
a speech impediment or something, and we're making
Well,
fun of him.
we would feel better if it was.
Would we?
By the way, I hope somebody starts a GoFundMe for Niles so he can get that $4,000.
I would give it to him in a heartbeat. If I was
Yeah.
on that stage, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have that kind of money where I could.
I don't necessarily
It would
have
hurt, but I could do
$4,000.
it.
Yeah, I mean, it would
Yeah.
hurt. Yeah, but maybe I'd give him $400.
For sure.
Yeah,
Let's
if
all do
everybody,
it.
if everybody gave him 400, even if you could give 20, why is there a GoFundMe? We need to find out.
Yeah, because 100%. If we all gave $5,
Yeah.
all the listeners, all the viewers of the show,
He would have it.
it's better than Paul and Karini doing fundraisers for her fake cancer and everyone else on the show doing their fundraisers for things.
Brandon and Julia, remember when she said she had pancreatic cancer, but actually she just had
That's what I was thinking of.
she had
Paul
indigestion.
and Karini. Yeah, it was. She's like, I think I have dying cancer, terminal cancer. Have you been to a doctor? No, not yet.
She said she had pancreatic cancer.
Yeah,
specifically.
Yeah, but hadn't been to hadn't gotten the results yet or something.
Turned out she literally had heartburn.
Yeah.
Okay. We wish them the best. Okay. Joe and Magda. Hey, Joe and Magda, let's see if you've made any progress since we last saw you. Where's your relationship today? And Magda says, we are in a very good position. We love each other and we are stronger than ever. And I'm so happy and I'm so lucky. And he goes,
and I'm never gonna smile. She doesn't smile once.
She doesn't smile, but I do think her internet connection was bad. That's why. I mean, she was very blurry compared to
very blurry.
Vea or Sunny or anybody. Yeah. Maybe the Wi-Fi is not so great in Poland.
Yeah.
And
I don't know because in Ghana it was great. Like
Mr. Ark was totally clear.
Matilda looked like 5G.
Flawless.
Yeah.
So she says, we love each other. We're stronger. I'm happy. He says he feels lucky too. They're doing great. She did come to America on that long trip, met his whole family, loved the family, very happy. She met all of his friends. Now, I know that later they're going to have to ask about Jill, but
Yeah,
they're just
because
saving
where
it.
was that? Okay, thank you. Because I was like, did I miss it?
They're definitely saving it.
Also, I
Definitely.
want to hear the mom. Like, did the mom like her? Because the mom is the biggest barrier,
Yeah.
really.
Everybody loved her. Everybody loved her. She liked everyone, and they all liked her. And I heard somebody on Pillow Talk when I was in the background. Somebody goes, "Why didn't they ask about Jill?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and he says, "Yeah." And all my friends told me, like, Joey, if you mess up, she's going to cut off your dick. And Brian goes, "Why is that?" And they all say, "Oh, she could be intimidating. She stands up for herself." And literally, I thought Brian was going to have a moment in his pants. He's like,
He
"Oh,
fully
really?
he goes,
Oh,
"Why is she fiery?
she
She
fine.
fiery?
Huh?
And she's
Huh?
young and she's foreign. Oh, she's younger than
Oh,
my daughter." He fully got a
oh."
hard on.
He was
Like,
like,
and
"Somebody
they
bring
were
me a
making fun of it
catheter."
on Pillow Talk. They were
Yeah.
like, Brian is putting in his, like, if you guys break up, it was
I'm,
that pervy kind of like,
he's like, "I'm not afraid to propose. I'll do it right now. I'll
yeah,
do it right now."
gross. So
Gross.
gross. She's 21 years old or something.
Yeah, gross. So, when they say she can be intimidating and she stands up for herself, they pan the camera really quick to Adnan and Tiger Lily. You're like, "Ew, women, gross."
Gross.
And she says, "Yeah, I want to come to the States and live with Joey, and he doesn't want to move to Poland. So yeah, it'll be a change for me to move there, but yeah, I want to." Are they engaged? No. The reason is he didn't want her to expect it. She was asking a lot. And because she was pushing so much, it started to feel like a business transaction. So
Yeah.
he's going to wait and do it when it feels natural and she's not expecting it, which I think is fine. Again, they're so young.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know why she's in such a, I mean, she's in a rush because she wants to come to be with him and she can't without the K1
But
visa.
they
I
seem
kind of
to,
get
they
that.
can easily visit each other, it seems.
Yeah,
There's no
that's
restrictions
true.
there.
Yeah.
It's also interesting that he said, she keeps telling me, like, I don't have a job. Like, I need to move there. I was like, that was your choice to
Yeah.
not have a job.
And what did she say on that post that you sent me? She's like, I had to quit the prison job because they wouldn't let me take off a
For
month
filming.
for for filming, right?
Filming. Yeah, that's
Because
right. I
they had
totally
those
forgot about that.
vacations and stuff planned. And
Yeah, I forgot about that. You're right. But
yeah,
by the
I
way,
guess you can't really work a full-time job when you're filming.
but you also can just get another job.
Just another part-time job. Is there
Part-time,
a like a
something.
Marshalls or something that
Yeah,
is hiring seasonally?
yeah. Or go, why don't you be a volleyball coach?
There you go.
There you go. Show people how to get that hot ass that you got because I'd
Yeah,
like to
she
know.
could do bikini modeling.
I mean, yeah, totally. So she goes, no, it's not like I'm forcing him or pushing him. But then once he proposes, we still have to wait for the visa. And sometimes that could take a year or
Mhm.
7 if you're Angel and Michael. And he goes, it's no rush. We're in no rush. I'm just waiting for the right time. And they said, how often does she talk about it? He goes, I don't know, a lot, like once a week. He goes, I'm trying not to waste your time. And Brian goes, yeah, if you keep waiting, she might change her mind. Ha, 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 ha.
I'm here.
I'm here, right here. And Joey goes, look, I know you proposed 7 times, Brian, but I've never done it. And they
Yeah.
all laugh.
I love.
Brian does not think it's funny.
No, he doesn't.
Uh-uh.
I don't know if that was an editing thing, but he looks pissed.
He
They
didn't
cut
look
to
like
him and he looks.
he should have laughed at himself there, but he didn't.
No, that's
Um,
one thing. He does not seem to have a lot of sense of humor about himself.
so they all ask about her putting on an engagement ring and wearing it around before they even met in person. And she was like, I just didn't want other guys approaching me when I had a boyfriend. And she goes, and he knew about that. He goes, I mean, like, no. He's like, I found out about it when you told me after you did it. And she says, Joey knows I want kids, marriage, everything. And that's true because on the first episode we met him, he said, she just wants to come here and be a
Yeah.
housewife. And he knows everything. She goes, it's not me pushing him. We are on the same page. And so Sean asked the group, does everybody here raise your hand? It's an informal poll. Do anybody here think Magda is pushing the relationship? And most of them say yes.
Yeah.
And Vanya says, but it makes sense because the only way they can be together is that they get engaged. And Brian goes, yep, but then it puts him in a pressure cooker. And Niles goes, no man wants to be pressured like that. You'll end up like me,
Like,
married.
it's like,
Married.
yeah.
Now we get to the part about the forgotten passport. Okay. And I just wrote, bro, bro. This
Oh,
is such a bro moment. And Vanya goes, that's insane to me. You had already overslept and you could have missed your flight for some alcohol. He goes, no, it's called smart because I'm not buying drinks on the plane.
when
12,
they
he said,
showed that clip and they made it seem very mysterious, like he had forgotten something that wasn't his passport, I thought it was like a ring, the ring, like he was brought the ring and he was going to
mm,
propose, but then he decided not to. And it
mm.
was almost worse where because he's that dumb that he went back for like mixers or whatever, not mixers,
Shooters, he said.
shooters.
So I
Like
guess because he can get through security, they must be under 8 ounces. And it must be just like airplane bottles, like
you,
literal airplane bottles of
they were
alcohol.
so late for that,
So
so
late.
late. Spend the $12. You could buy drinks on the plane.
$12. How
That
many
is,
drinks do you need? What did you save $24?
yeah. Was it worth it that you almost missed your flight for
But we
$24?
but we haven't he's like, it's called smart, but we haven't seen him be like super cheap or anything.
No,
So it's
no.
very out of context.
Yeah, it was bizarre. And she looks pissed. Like,
She's like, I know he drinks a lot of alcohol, but I didn't know he was doing that. Her
yeah.
mouth is in a line like this.
Uh-huh.
Um, Sean says, "Okay, everybody, we saw Joey has an open door policy when it comes to use the bathroom. What do we think? When did we see that? Did
No,
you
we just
remember ever
heard him
seeing that?
say it. We heard him talk about it in the very first episode, but we never saw it. Thank
What
God.
is he? Jax Taylor? Jax Taylor always did that on Vanderpump Rules. Just show him sitting on the toilet talking to Brittany. I was like,
No. Oh,
ugh. So anyway, Vanya says, Yoshko did that. It's gross. And Lauren goes, all my exes go with me to the bathroom, so I don't cheat in the bathroom.
jeez.
Are you a nymphomaniac or just a liar or both? Shut
Yeah.
up. And Tiger really goes,
Wait, who said that?
Lauren. Lauren said, all my exes went with me to the bathroom, so I don't cheat in the bathroom.
Oh my
Big
God.
smile.
That is when I'm not steaming up some clam chowder crawfish boil.
Jogging in the restroom. And Tiger Lily says, in my mind, girls don't do number two. So no. And everybody kind of laughs. That's the motto around here.
Yeah,
Nobody needs to see anything.
I
We don't
agree.
want to talk about it. We
Yeah.
had a whole conversation about this on our trip to Jamaica about like mom and dad, like you never like fart, which I don't even say that word. We never toot in front of each other. And I
Yeah.
go, no.
Yeah.
I go,
I
not,
love
not,
that. That's a way to keep the romance going.
no. And if it ever happened is a complete accident, somebody's violently ill,
Yeah.
like,
I like
no,
that.
never. Or somebody's asleep. Like,
I
no,
don't buy that whole like it means that you're closer. You're
no,
really that's when you really know each other is when you're farting in front of each other. No.
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 I don't want to talk about anything that happens in the bathroom. I don't want to have that conversation with my friends. I barely like if it's my sisters or my mother and we're talking about medical things, I will discuss it. But no, I mean, every so often somebody will have a stomach issue and I'll to pin down the issue, I might go, okay, is it
Yeah.
this or is it this? Do you need Imodium or do you need Pepto?
Yeah.
Which thing do you need? Which way is it going?
Mhm.
But no,
That's how you're keeping the romance alive.
That's why we're so hot for each other around here.
Mm.
Okay, y'all, that's the end of part 1 of our tell-all recap. Part 2 will already be in your feed. Thanks for listening.
Nothing brings us together like Eggland's best eggs. Always so fresh and delicious, plus superior nutrition like 6 times more vitamin D, 10 times more vitamin E, and 25% less saturated fat compared to ordinary eggs. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs. Visit egglandsbest.com to learn more.
This episode is brought to you by Opill, the first over-the-counter daily birth control pill available in the U.S. Opill is FDA approved, full prescription strength, and estrogen-free. Plus, there's no prescription needed. Finally, the days of needing a prescription for birth control are over. Opill is available online and at most major retailers. Take control of your health and reproductive journey with Opill. Birth control in your control. Use code BIRTHCONTROL for 25% off your first month of Opill at opill.com.
Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.